bouncing around, shifting left to right. George Mohammad Ali gets...
A great and all-time fighter, fearless, outspoken, and a freedom fighter.
I told you, all of my critics, I told you all that I was the greatest of all time. When I beat Sonny Liston, I told you today I'm still the greatest of all time. Never again make me the underdog until I'm about 50 years old. Right. Then you might get me.
Muhammad Ali, the greatest. On his birthday in January 17, 1942 in Louisville, Kentucky, his parents Cassius Marcellus Clay and Odessa Grady Clay gave him the name Cassius Marcellus Clay Jr. From this humble background, with little hope to ever stand out in society, Ali used to ride his beloved bicycle in his hometown, which was one day stolen. This unfortunate event stared the future heavyweight champion to the sport of boxing when the Louisville police officer he reported to suggested that the upset youngster first learn how to fight. It was a gym that he showed him. By the age of 18, Ali had captured 2 National Golden Gloves titles and other Amateur Athletics Union titles, leading him to his first light heavyweight gold medal in the 1960 Summer Olympics. Sam Lukanga, a former Ugandan boxing champion, says that he got his inspiration from Ali.
Muhammad Ali yakuba abazungu abasoka round yemu biri satu round yemu tawali muzungu yazanya ne Ali ngatandize professional yasuka round 4 bana abaza amagazako bebaduka vungaye.
He says that his unorthodox skills were rare in the sweet science of boxing. Very fast, the young fighter rose to the standards of facing the champions of the time. He defeated Sonny Liston of Championship at the age of 22 to lift the heavyweight title on February 25, 1964. At this time, he had come into contact with Malcolm X and Elijah Muhammad, who persuaded him into Islam, hence acquiring his new name Muhammad Ali. He claimed that he did this as a tool against racism in the U.S. Fellow sportsmen in Uganda support him. Uganda's Godfrey Nyakana is one of those.
And even that stance made huge inspiration for many people who had access to that information.
When America declared war on Vietnam in 1967, it was mandatory for all Americans to fight, but Ali declined, claiming the war was uncalled for.
My intention is to box to win a clean fight, but in war, the intention is to kill, and continue killing innocent people. That's what the business is war.
Ali was arrested and the New York State Athletics Commission immediately suspended his boxing license and revoked his heavyweight belt. Later, he was convicted of draft evasion and sentenced to 5 years in jail, which he challenged in an appeal. This is one of the African Americans who largely believed to have their origin in Central Africa, and in 1974 he exported one of his greatest fights, dubbed the Rumble in the Jungle, to Zaire, where he knocked out George Foreman, who was the champion. Among other legends that Ali faced include Joe Frazier, Ken Norton, and Larry Holmes. When he turned 39, Ali retired from the sport with 59 wins, 5 losses, and 37 knockouts. Later, in 1984, he was diagnosed with Parkinson's syndrome, an illness believed to have been triggered by the punches he received. Some boxing pundits refute this allegation.
Because he had a Parkinson's syndrome, which could have been with any other person, even an old woman could have Parkinson's syndrome. And I don't think a doctor who is educated could touch that, because I've been listening to what they're all saying, and he's had Parkinson's syndrome.
In 1999, Ali was voted BBC's Sporting Personality of the Century, and in 1990, he was inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame. He is succeeded by a wife, 7 daughters, and 2 sons. Solomon Kawesa, NTV.